What up, world? It's your boy Jaystar back again, man, with the top five at tight end, man, for the week 11 slate, y'all. So we gonna get right into this as we always do. But like I told y'all, for top fives this time, man, I'm gonna do a little bit something different. I just feel like I kind of seen something for like the last 2 to 3 weeks at least. I feel like um and it's just that, I've been giving y'all basically my top fives with just fantasy points, who's giving up the most fantasy points, which, yes, it has been, somewhat successful on things like, you just got to really filter through. But I feel like how we can kind of narrow down and really kind of get those people right. I had to add in to, for at least the receiver options wise and going to be for quarterback and things like that. It's completion percent, man. I feel like completion percent has to do a lot with the success of tight ends, quarterbacks, and wide receivers. Yeah, there's some quarterbacks that that don't even really matter. Like a Pat Mahomes to we want to say who else is Josh Allen, and sometimes Burrow when he had Chase for sure. When all the weapons were out there, I feel like he's one of those quarterbacks that you can hit on and stuff like that because he just has elite weapons at every position basically almost. So but yeah, so I just want to get into that with that. I want to put together like most fantasy points, of course, kind of still, but I want to make sure we can narrow down to completion percent because I feel like the team that's going against the highest completion percent, and definitely if they got a passing quarterback, then those weapons can actually go get those fantasy points that it says that they're supposed to be able to get. So at number five this week, man. Let's see who we got here at number five because this tight end part it was actually kind of hard, I would say, this week. But for completion percent, it's actually supposed to go to Pitts, y'all. So Kyle Pitts, um, and that's gonna be a really funny one here because let's see if it's gonna actually show and load up here. But um, we know Mariota has been trying to hit Pitts, but for some reason, man, he just has not been able to connect with him on point. Like he's missed him a lot of times. And I don't know why it's taking so long this time, y'all. But he's missed him. Like he's been throwing him the ball though. Like I wish it would show, this thing would load up, but it's not right now. So um, he's actually been getting the targets. I believe it's been about 6 to 7 targets the last 2 games, and he's only caught about like two, I think, in the last 2 games. Before that game, he actually had like a 19-point fantasy game against Carolina, but the last 2 games, the accuracy has been off. But now going against, I would say ninth in completion percent. So I feel like that's a pretty good completion percent to go against and to finally hit again. So like I said, Kyle Pitts is number five for that reason. Um, I don't know why this thing gonna keep spinning like this. Like we really just not gonna get this going. Like we just not gonna get off of this. I guess not. So, anyways, we'll get to the next play here, and it's going to be at 4. Gotta go a little cheaper here. And where are you at? Or is he higher than this? Oh wow. Oh yeah, Schultz is actually up here. So it's Schultz, guys. So Schultz is gonna be my number 4 tight end this week. We already know Dak throws to Schultz, man. He loves Schultz. So it's like, Witten for what I want to say. Who was that? Oh my God, why can't I think of the quarter? Romo's favorite tight end, and this is basically his Witten now. And we got completion percent very high for what I want to say, about fifth in the league in completion percent for Minnesota. And so you thinking about that tied to fantasy points, they was like third anyways in fantasy points, I want to say. So those two things are not third. They was like what, like I want to say, my bad. What was that, like seventh in fantasy points, I believe, to tight ends. But it's just the fact, like I say, you looking at that and looking at the completion percent with the targets that he's getting, that means he can actually get those fantasy points. So that's why I had to put him at number 4 then, y'all. At number 3 though this week, man, for tight ends, we got who we got here. Dallas Goedert, man. So Dallas Goedert is gonna be in play, y'all. I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, it actually worked. Wow. But Dallas Goedert, man, is definitely gonna be in play. We already know he keeps getting consistent, just targets, man. And it's like tying that with the fact that they are what, seventh in completion percent. then that means they're going to probably hit on all his targets. You know, if they get another 6, he probably goes 6 for 6. If you get another 9, we looking at 9 for 9 or 8 for 9. You know, which means he's going to get those fantasy points. That's why I'm trying to put this completion percent, you know, tied in together to help us out. We're actually hitting on these tight ends. So I definitely feel like Dallas Goedert is in for a big game. That's why he makes it at number 3. And at number 2 this week, y'all, we got Komet. So I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh, it did work. Wow. So we got Komet, man. You know, as of lately, the last 2 weeks, I mean, he's just been the best tight end, really. I mean, just freaking the highest fantasy points, and you know how hard it is to get fantasy points like this for tight end position. So another thing here, we have, what is it? Completion percent here. We talk about second in completion percent, and you know, since Fields doesn't throw to a lot of his receivers, you know, it looks like, you know, Komet has been in play for the goal line, just crazy, and that's what we're really looking for. We really want the person who's gonna get the touchdowns. You know, when the quarterback's actually throwing the ball, you know, we're looking for those touchdown plays. We're looking for that instant 7 points, you know, for that receiver when they catch it and get that touchdown. So, and tight end here, he's, you know, 2 back-to-back touchdowns, you know, in games, and then 1 in the game before that. So just hitting big, man. Fantasy points have been crazy high. Targets have went up, you know. So looks like Chase Claypool has just been a distraction to get Komet the ball. That's what I've been seeing lately. So definitely that's why he makes it here at number 2 this week. And at number 1, we have, who did not, I think he failed the whole world, because I feel like a lot of people had him, Greg Dulcich, though. If Judy is out, this is going to be such a great play. I feel like he gets at least probably 2 added targets from what Judy was getting. And I know Judy wasn't getting a crazy amount, but, you know, maybe about 8 to 6 targets or something like that. But I definitely feel that we can probably add 2 to 3 targets to Dulcich, you know, because of that, because he runs that area of the field. I know he missed a big play that was probably like a 50 or 40-yard bomb. Probably was going to be a touchdown, so it would have probably even been more yards if Russell would have just hit him on that. Just, man, he was in stride and everything. Just missed it, man. And it sucked, because that would have been, you know, put him at the 15 probably fantasy points that we thought he was going to get for us. But this week, you know, in for another big game against the Raiders and stuff like that, I feel like he definitely could hit big. Possibly 15 to 20 fantasy points there. Completion percent is number 1 in the league, man. So definitely, I know how Russell has not been connecting, but that's why he did have his best game against the Raiders before, is because they're first in completion percent. So definitely feel like Greg Dulcich could be in for a huge game, and that's why he's at number 1. And just missed a cut this week, man. I'm trying to figure out who it is, because it was some teams that, you know, could have been at the top, but they don't even go to their tight ends. I think I probably should just tell y'all, you know, Conklin, you know, iffy quarterback play here, which is why he didn't, you know, for sure make the cut. But definitely, New England does give up fantasy points to tight ends. Last time he went for near 26 fantasy points against New England. So definitely, I would have to say for 3,400, you can roll with Conklin. You know, just, you know, quarterback play, you know, is kind of a gamble with that part. But other than that, definitely could be, if he could just connect with him, we in for a big game for Conklin. And that is it for the top 5 at tight end for week 11, man. It's your boy Jaystar. Stay tuned for the running back top 5, quarterback top 5, and wide receiver. Then we got value plays, you know, come out on Saturdays, as well as the full strategy show on Fridays to really help y'all learn who's the best stacks for this week. You know, and best just defensive matchups and stuff for quarterback plays. All that type of stuff comes out on strategy show. Plus, I'll let y'all know the injury report, which keeps helping us. I believe everybody's being helped out by me reporting that on Friday, so that way y'all know what wide receivers usually have the best matchups due to injuries at cornerbacks. Also could help out with running backs plays too, if we hear that linebackers are out too, you know, for certain teams, and that can also affect tight ends too. But it's your boy Jaystar, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.